July and August that we're going to see those numbers jump even.
Tourism Minister Alan Shastney commended the island's handling of the UK visitors who were delayed in St. Lucia during the crisis. Last week, the EU airspace was closed because of an ash cloud created by an erupting Icelandic volcano. It is estimated suspended flights in and out of Europe cost the airline industry hundreds of millions of dollars. Tourism officials here are also assessing the impact of the act of nature. Senator Alan Shastney says while the UK is the second largest source market for the island, he does not anticipate catastrophic losses for the island's tourism business.
Probably the number of arrivals that would have been impacted would be about 4 or 5 rotations, so you're talking about 300 on average, 350 people per rotation, so maybe around 1,200 passengers that we would have lost business from coming into St. Lucia, which is a significant number in itself. But we will have a more detailed number later in the week for that.
The tourism minister says arrivals will be buoyed by the upcoming Jazz Festival and the World 2020 Championship in May. But while the UK is an important source market, the minister's eyes are trained on the continental US, which maintains is poised for unprecedented growth after bouncing back from the slump of 2009. Shastney explains the tourism marketing thrust has been enhanced by increased airlift, the Bachelor TV series, and a current multi-city advertising blitz.
We've seen the U.S. market increase on average by 35% per month. And we believe that May, June, July, and August, that we're going to see those numbers jump even greater. And the reason is we're going to have more airline seats this May, June, July, and August than we did have last year.
The minister, meanwhile, was among the many travelers stranded in the United Kingdom after the airspace was closed. The minister, who spends a lot of his layover time monitoring the UK general elections, says the personal experience was nerve-wracking as many travelers scrambled to get out of the UK by all available means.
You heard the discussions going back and forth between the airlines and as well as the civil aviation authorities. And just the amount of money. I mean, the airlines on a worldwide basis were losing $250 million a day. I can imagine the airports, Heathrow, Gatwick, nobody going through them, so the restaurants, the duty-free shops, all the people that depend on an income in that area were impacted for 6 days.
Shastney projects the island will recuperate the dramatic losses in arrivals from the UK market in 2008 later this year. Additionally, the tourism minister says the delays caused by the volcanic eruption show the disadvantages of the over-reliance on air travel. He says the Caribbean region must take note and look to invest in other forms of transportation, like ferry boat services, as a contingency in times of emergencies or natural disasters. Winston Springer Jr., HTS News, Channel 4.